What's going on, guys? J Mun here. Just want to give y'all an update, man, on the RSX. Show y'all how it sits for right now. Boom. This is how it's sitting. Unfortunately, about 3 weeks after I got it dynoed, turboed, the oil pump managed to fail on me. So we managed. So this is where we're sitting right now. Kind of sucks it happened, but I do believe I think I know the reason why it did fail. So this is how the RSX is looking. As you see, we still have the intercooler and stuff on there, intercooler piping. Got the tile blowout valve. It's still good. All the turbo stuff is good, except for the turbo itself, which I'm gonna show y'all what I got going on now. New build is right here. Boom, we have a K20/K24. I went ahead and went with a K24 bottom end since I know for sure I'm gonna play a clip of how the K20 A2 motor was sounding right when the oil pump went out. I'm gonna play that right here. So that was that. At first I thought I bent the rod because everything was running fine. I did a 4th gear pull. Then like three or so miles later, that's when I started hearing the knock and stuff and ticking. So I didn't know at the time. I thought it was just a bent rod, but I come to find out I had opened up the oil cap. I was like, let me test, because my oil gauge, my glow strip oil gauge so happened to malfunction. And I find out that the gauge I used, it had just got glow strip just discontinued them the beginning of last year, which I kind of saw kind of ironic. I called glow strip. I said, why do y'all discontinue them? Is it because the gauges didn't work? They said no, because people weren't buying them. So I don't know, guys. I guess just take it as a grain of salt. I think because the gauges were, people didn't buy them because the gauges were malfunctioned. But I just went ahead and looked inside just to see, you know, if there was oil circulating while I was making that knocking noise. I looked down. You can just see right there those camshafts. They were just rolling around with no oil around them at all. I knew then, boom, it was more than likely the oil pump failed. Which right here we have a K-Mod Performance modified K20 A2 pump, and it's supposed to be rated for around 10,000 RPM. I know stock these pretty much maxed out around 8,600, but with this with the K-Mod oil pump, I'm looking forward to see how it runs. We here have also a oil baffle plate just in case any G-forces of hard braking or cornering. If I decide to track the car, any of that oil, the oil pan is gonna sit right up under here. When you have a hard brake or anything like that, the oil can swash over to one side, and while the pickup here is sucking up the oil, while the oil swashes over from one side or move forward due to hard braking, the oil is just being starved of oil, and it's not lubricating any of your main bearings or any of that, your vital components of the motor. So I went ahead and just picked that up just to be on the safe side. I made more than likely I'm not going to be tracking, just going to be a street car, but I'm looking forward to see how this setup is and see how much oil pressure this pump produced. I'm guessing one reason that the oil pump failed was possibly the miles that was already on it. I had over 160,000 miles, but everything was fine, you know. Even at the dyno, we was running it hard around 8,600. No oil pressure drop at all. But I think maybe the main cause of it was, boom, this right here, the OEM crank pulley, which, or aka harmonic balancer, which I seen on J Tech Tip videos with Real Street Performance. They said one vital component to when you're doing modifications to a motor is to always changing out your crank pulley with one of these, the ATI super damper, aftermarket dampener. Because what happens is the OEM harmonic balancer is only designed to dampen out any harmonics that the engine is, or any vibration that your engine is making at stock, at OEM stock horsepower levels. Now since I had 4'8", I've doubled the horsepower that this crank pulley was designed for. And that's all that the dampener is that's all the dampener is for, is to dampen any type of vibrations that the motor may cause. It keeps from the bearings and the crank bearings from getting, you know, whacked out of place from all the vibrations. And it even says right here on the ATI Super Dampener, eliminate torsional crankshaft harmonics, prevent oil pump, timing chain, and timing belt failures. So I'm guessing that's maybe what caused the oil pump to go out in the K20 A2. You know, it even says it right there, to prevent oil pump and timing chain. Because what can happen, all that vibration could cause a lot of bad stuff to be going on with the oil pump that doesn't need to be going on. So this is it right here. It's still the OEM style size, as you can see right there. Still the OEM size. It has the timing marks on there, which is helpful, and it still has the still the same grooves as the stock one did. So if I want to go and put my accessories back on the alternator and stuff, they do make one where you can use like a what you call a dry sump oil pump. It's going to be another pulley right here on the side, but I decided to go with that right there. And so I'm gonna tell y'all guys what's going on with this new build. I went ahead and with forged internals. I told myself that I was going to run the stock A2 boosted till it messed up, then do a new build with forged internals, just to make sure the motor is 100% capable. Which the motor, the A2, is running just fine. It just so happened my oil pump went out, but it happens. It happened, guys. It's all part of modifying engines. But I'm just here to kind of educate y'all and hopefully prevent y'all from having that same mistake. If y'all do decide to run the stock internals, I would highly suggest just to go and change the timing chain, timing guides, put in ARP head studs, a head gasket, and go ahead and change out the oil pump just to be safe with it. Or just make sure you have a good oil pump, so you can monitor those oil pressures. Because unfortunately mine wasn't working at the time. But here we got Manley H-beam rods. We got Wiseco forged pistons. There is going to be 11-to-1 compression. I know you guys are saying that's pretty high compression for a turbo, but I really enjoyed the 11-to-1 compression that was on the stock K20 A2. So I think stock on these, this is a K24 A2, as y'all can see right there. Stock these had, I think, 10-to-1 compression, and we just went ahead and, you know, it's all based on the tune, whether it can be reliable or not. People down in Tech, Atlanta, Georgia, James, who tuned it last time, he did a great job with it. He kept it pretty conservative, safe, made 448 pump gas. I wasn't even running E85. Pump gas on 11-to-1 compression on the stock K20 A2, you know, making 448 horsepower and 333 wheel torque. And so that's why I decided to go ahead and go with the 11-to-1 compression. That way I can reach my power number goals quicker and run less boost, which would I believe be beneficial for the motor. But either way it goes, it's still going to be hot. It's still going to be a lot of pressures going in there, but you know, with a motor. But like I heard, it's all based on the tune. But I'm using also SuperTech valve springs, dual valve springs, and SuperTech Inconel exhaust valves. As you can see through here, Inconel is a good it's a good heat material, especially for turbos and stuff. And here I believe they have the nitrogen, something like that. I'll put in the description, but it's nitrogen filled intake valves, and it has a kind of anti-friction coating on there, as you can see right there, to kind of help with friction and stuff as the valves are going up and down. I also have the dual valve springs, alloy dual valve springs, which I believe is 95 pound spring. I know I'm still using the same type as cams, but I just went ahead and went with those extra high pound of pressure valve springs, just so that this motor can really be capable of 9,000 RPM if I wanted to, or if I wanted to put an aftermarket cam in there in the future, the valve springs will already be safe to go. Which this time I ran a Skunk 2 timing chain tensioner, which I seen is a little bit more better improvement over the OEM tensioner. These have deeper teeth that's within the ratchet mechanism. So it's, you know, if there was anything to go with it, the ratchet's not clicking in place. Those teeth are going to be deep enough to where it's going to still keep keep tension on that timing chain, which is right over here. So I'm also on some k20 cooler hoses with the what you call it, the oil cooler, the OEM oil cooler that's off of a k20A2. We managed to get that on. All you gotta do is just take that screw out that's in these K24s, get the Honda S2000 oil cooler joint to put in there, and boom, it goes right in like that. You just gotta put a little elbow piece here on the water pump. But unfortunately, when that oil pump went out, it also fried my turbo. It fried the bearings that was in the turbo, so it wasn't really spinning as often. But I had all this reworked. As you can see, it's ready to go. It's ready to go. And the people, they put a little, they made a little changes to the exhaust side. I believe they put a Garrett Garrett exhaust shaft. They say theirs is Garrett products were a little bit better than the entry-level precision products. Like this Garrett wood here is 100% Inconel, and the fins are right there. The fins are a little bit thinner than what was already on this precision bearing. It's gonna make for a little bit more aerodynamics, and what they told me, it should see a little small improvement in spool time with the turbo. So and this is a 5831, so the turbo was already spooling up pretty quick with that K20A2. And now that we upped the displacement from a 2 liter to a 2.4, since the K24 has a higher stroke than the K20A2, I should see very quick spool up time with that turbo. Now I may lose a little top end due to the smaller exhaust size since it's a 31, but guys, I think it's going to be very interesting, man. I'm looking forward to see what this K24 does. I heard a lot of good stuff about it, and I heard even stock just slapping the A2 head on in the K24 NA, you can go upwards from 250 upwards, make 50 extra horsepower, go from stock with the K20A2 to 200 horsepower all the way to 250. And so plus the turbo, I should reach that 448 mark with relatively less boost than I had before. I think I was having around 16 pounds when I made the 448 on the 2 liter K20A2. So I would hope I can get to that 448 relatively quick. Whatever boost I was running to make 448, I should at least be able to get at 500 horsepower, or at least close to 500 horsepower with the same boost I had using the K20A2. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to hopefully have this thing in the car. Everything's ready to go back in. We just gotta get the oil pan and stuff off from the old A2 and put it on there. I'm waiting on some people to help me with that. And yeah, and hopefully I'm gonna try to make it to Import Alliance next weekend. Which, guys, if any of y'all going, let me know in the comments below. I would love to meet some of you guys if y'all are up there. I'm gonna hopefully have this thing in by then. And I'm gonna try to record some data logging on the K Pro and send it off to the tuner up there in Elbtech, Georgia. Hopefully he can email me a safe tune that I can run on this thing just for the time being until I get it on the dyno. And of course I'm going to do the break-in process procedures, getting this motor properly broke in. I believe you run it for like 30 minutes or so when you first start it up. I think keep the RPMs around 2,000, make sure it flushes any contaminants or any small metal metallics into the oil pan. Then drain the oil again, put some fresh oil in there, run it for 500 miles, then drain again. Then I heard you should be good to go. So, but yeah, everything so far has been fitting right up to this K24 bottom end. I mean, this is the A2 Type S oil. I mean, the water pump. As you can see, it fits right on. We already put some Honda bond and stuff on there, and you are going to have to run the K20A2 water pump if you do want to run the OEM oil cooler, which is recommended that you run this to keep the oil temps down. I mean, Honda knew for a reason. Honda wouldn't put on here for any reason that would be beneficial. Or you can run just an external oil cooler, which I heard is a little bit better. It'll cool the oil better, but I decided to keep it simple and go with that. So you do have to run the K20 A2 water pump, just so that that little elbow there could create a way to this hose to put coolant right there into the oil cooler. So yeah, that's the update, guys. That's why I haven't really uploaded any videos of the RSX doing any pulls, because I've been building this motor for 3 months now, which I think is pretty quick, because I had the car dynoed around December, I think 16th. The oil pump went out like December the 22nd. So I picked up this block on the day before Christmas from a guy I drove about an hour and a half to go see. I only paid $500 for the bottom end block, and it already came honed out and everything. But I decided to go ahead and bore this out from 87 millimeters to 87.5, just to make sure that the cylinders were true up and down. That way there weren't any distortion, just in case if the block was, you know, abused or anything like that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to see how this go, guys. But I'm gonna keep y'all guys updated along the way of the process. If y'all have any questions, if y'all thinking about doing this build yourselves, any questions about the, you know, K24 Frankenstein build, hit me up in the comments below, because I didn't know nothing about it when I started, but I just did a lot of research, a lot of great information on the forums, and just done a lot of research. That's all it comes down to, is doing research. And I had got a lot of help from like the Greg Carter at Go Auto Works Performance up in Montgomery. He the one that told me all I needed to get that stock A2 to 400 horsepower, and as you can see, it exceeded 400 horsepower. So I called him up. He pretty much set me up with every, you know, the piston size and all that, direct me on my way for what I need to do to get this new motor going. So looking forward to running the new, well, not really new, but it's improved turbo, and ready to see what the spool up time is. I'm definitely looking forward to see how this ATI Super Dampler does too, because it's supposed to free up any lost horsepower that is lost during vibrations in the motor, and help the motor really run smoothly. So I'm thinking this was the culprit, guys, with the oil pump malfunction. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking that is the culprit, because that oil pump was running fine whenever I had bolt ons and the reflash, revving the 8K, running it hard. It ran fine until I turboed it. Like not 2 weeks after I turboed it, that's when the oil pump failed. So I'm thinking the turbo just accelerated the wear that was already on the oil pump that was already on it. I already had so many miles on it. I think this turbo just accelerated. So that's the only thing I give y'all guys a heads up, if y'all do modify the stock motor, just to be on the safe side, just to go in and change up the oil pump. But that's it for this, guys. I'm gonna give y'all an update. The next video, we should be getting this motor in relatively soon. But that's it for this video. God bless.